Markets are crashing. Now what? What are we going to do now? Yep, markets are crashing. Or at least that's what it feels like when you open your account and everything is red. And believe me, it's red. Yeah, we're taking it on the chin right now. I am. You probably are too. And that's just the way it goes. We go through these cycles. It seems like every time we go through it, it's feast or famine. It's ultra highs and ultra lows, and it seems like there's no in between. So, stocks are down, crypto's down, headlines are loud and ugly, and it creates this weird pressure where you feel like you're supposed to do something right now. You got to do something right now. But here's the truth most people don't want to hear. This is exactly what markets look like when risk is coming off an emotional takeover. And that's the best way I can describe it. Nothing is broken. Liquidity is shifting. And volatility always shows up faster than logic every time. This is why if you're in it for the long haul, it's typically better for you, your portfolio, to not panic sell, to not get washed out, not get pushed out of the market because I'm going to lose it all if I don't get out. It's just the way it goes. And I'm in the market. Yes, my portfolio looks horrible right now. And so it's just the way it goes. I've been through multiple market cycles, tech bubbles. I've seen a few of those in my time, and a lot of people think we're in one now. I don't think this is like the dot-com bubble. We've discussed that. Totally different set of scenarios. Well, I think AI and all this data centers and all of this chips and tech and AI and all this craziness drawback. Sure, it will. They always do. It always does. Real estate crashes. I've seen those, a couple of those over my time. I've been in tech and crypto now. Tech and real estate now for about 30 years, and I've been in crypto now for 5 or 6 years. So, and I've seen more crypto ups and downs than I have the tech bubbles and real estate crashes combined. But every single time, the biggest losses didn't come from the market. They came from panicking at the wrong moment. And now is not the time to panic. I mean, you're down right now. Unless you think it's going to go significantly further down than where it is right now, then you're better off just staying where you are, pulling some cash together. You should have some cash on the side to dollar cost average in. We've talked about that. At least 10%, if not 25% to a third of your holdings in cash. So I'm not here to scare you today. I'm not here to tell you to buy or sell anything. I want to help you understand what's actually happening, what not to do, and how to think clearly when the screen is screaming at you, and it is screaming right now. And it's tempting to go in and say, I'm out, I quit, I'm done, I'm out of here, I'm not doing this anymore. At this part of the cycle, this is where the mistakes get made or where future gains are quietly beginning. Because remember, the money is made on these down times. It's not made at the top. You buy low, you sell high. At least you try to. It's not a perfect science. But even if you didn't sell high and you held for the long term, it's in your favor. So let's talk about the market today. Today is Thursday. We took it on the chin today, big time. This whole week has been horrible. Let me know in the comments below if you're what your portfolio is looking like. Unless you just were that brilliant and you knew when the top was and you sold out of everything, then let us know in the comments if you were the smart one to be able to get out. Now the key is do you know when to get back in? And I don't think any of us really do. So let's talk about the market. Dow was down 592 today. And I don't have the number for the week. It's horrible. The Nasdaq down 364 for the day. And the S&P is down 84. This is Thursday. This video may post on Friday, and it may even be worse. I wouldn't be surprised if we went down some more tomorrow, too, going into the weekend. That's just what I see a lot of times is that happen. However, I've been wrong before and seen days where we've had a week of this awful sell-off, and then all of a sudden we have 1,000-point Dow day and Nasdaq day. I don't know if you realize this or not, but I key in it. I talked about it on my live stream yesterday. But a year ago, literally about 1 year ago to the day, Trump announced Liberation Day. And that's when he had started imposing all the tariffs. And we went down 30% pretty much across the board in equities, stocks, crypto, and just was everything got just hammered. That's 30% drawdown. That's a lot. But what happened? We recovered out. It took us to about late April, early middle May, somewhere in there. It was a V-shaped recovery. We went down and came back up, climbed right back out of it. And we'll do the same here. It happens every time. I'm 52. I've seen this stuff happen. Patient are the ones that win in the end. So let's define this crashing. What is that? It feels like we're crashing, right? We've seen much worse in the past. And in crypto, it's been much worse, though this time feels different for different reasons, and they all are different for different reasons. Pullbacks feel like crashes when portfolios are stretched. Volatility does not mean that we have a broken system. That's not what people say, oh, it's all broken, there's something wrong. That's not true. It's happened in history a bunch. I mean, we go through these cycles, and you just got to keep your head up and realize, look, the sun's going to come up tomorrow. Everything's going to be fine. Hopefully, you've got some cash on the side. Hopefully, you're watching a potential bottom scenario or close to it. You're never going to hit it perfectly. And this is what markets do, and it's not a surprise. Let's talk about the price of some of these assets as they are at the time of this filming of this video. Bitcoin's at 63,000. Ethereum is at 1,825. Who would have thought? Solana's at 78. Who would have thought it would have gone below 100? And gold is at 4,776. Who would have thought that? And silver's at 70 from 121. It seems like just a week or two ago we were there, and look at what's happened. So it is what it is, guys. So why is everything dropping at once? Risk comes off fast. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of macro issues going on. There's Iran. There's Venezuela. There's Greenland. There's bickering with Canada. There's tariffs. The Clarity Act for crypto is in limbo. There's the new guy that's supposed to be replacing Powell, the new Fed chair, Warsh or whatever his name is. It just seems like there's so much uncertainty, and it's panic sets in, and that correlation spikes in sell-offs, and so good assets get sold and with bad ones. I mean, it's just like we have this mentality here in our markets in our country that it's all or nothing, and there's no moderation. It's just markets don't like uncertainty, and it's one extreme to the other. It's a go broke or get rich, go broke mentality, it seems like these days. And I guess when you've got this much money that's been pumped into the system that's out there, it's part of what happens. So this is how liquidity events look. Margin calls don't care about fundamentals. I mean, that's forced selling is going on, and that creates overshoots. And markets always fall faster than they rise, unfortunately. And that's why patience pays in the end. So crypto just amplifies what stocks are doing. And, it's basically tech. It's very early adoption tech. You also got to keep in mind with crypto specifically, you got 24/7 markets. So with the traditional market, it ends in the afternoon, but crypto keeps going. So you also have higher leverage in crypto, which is a big part of the problem. If you play with leverage in crypto, you need to rethink what you're doing, because leverage is poison in this space, especially when you're talking about crypto, where liquidity can be real thin at times. And it's open. It's an open book. I mean, people know where the open interest is and where all of the longs and the shorts are. And these exchanges are going to go hunt that out. And they're the ones who win in the end, because they make the fees on all of that, on all those liquidations. And crypto has a faster emotional feedback loop. It's just quicker, it's faster, and it's digital, so that's kind of the way it is by design. If you notice, gold and silver, they're not that fast. So you could say, well, we've gone up a lot. Well, true, but it's all on the paper side of things. If it was if it was really based, which it's settled in the physical, I know, but if it was really determined, the value of it's determined by how much you and I take of our physical stack and we barter with or trade with or buy and sell with, it would not be going as fast. It would be much slower. But since paper is involved, it changes things quite a bit. So what most people do wrong at this moment in time, they sell because it feels different, right? It's not. It's not any different. It's just another narrative cycle. It's just another cycle we're in, and a bottom will be found, and the market will respond, and the market will rebound. So what actually matters in a drawdown is cash position. Do you have cash on the side? We've talked about that. You gotta have at least 10%, if not 25 to a third of your cash on the side that you've got able to put into the market. And then what's your time horizon? Are you short term, you mid term, you long term? That matters. And then what's your asset quality? What kind of assets are you holding? So all those things play into that. So now what? The part that people actually want. This is what you want. If you're over leveraged, reduce risk. I don't know why you would be over leveraged at this moment in time, because if you were, you probably aren't anymore because you've been flushed out. If you're long term, do nothing or scale. Just chill and dollar cost average in. You don't want to necessarily catch a falling knife, but if you can find a bottom, and then when we've got momentum going up on the upside, that would be a good time to be trying to scale back in. If you're sitting on a bunch of cash, patience is an edge for you. So just chill, wait, watch, and things will work out in your favor. So this is how wealth transfers happens. Okay, it happens like this every time. Panic exit, patient enter. And that's what we've got now. Same story, every single cycle. This one's no different. It never feels obvious, though, in real time. Right now, I know I try to fight my emotions, because right now it feels like, oh my gosh, everything I've got's going to zero. But just for some reason, it never actually does. It ends up going higher over time, and we get through these things. So, perspective check. Zoom out on the charts. When in doubt, zoom out. We did this on my live stream yesterday. We went down as far as like the 10-minute, the 15-minute chart, went to the 30-minute, the 1 hour, the 4 hour, the daily, the weekly, the monthly. And every time we zoomed out, everything became more up and to the right, up and through it to the right. And so we get focused on these short time frames, and it gets us. So you got to ask yourself, would I be mad buying this asset 6 months from now? That's what you have to ask yourself. Not financial advice. You do you. But the most regret comes from selling, not holding. Because what will happen is you'll sell and it'll keep going up. And you're like, great. And I've had that. That's why I typically hold long term and ride these things out, because I found that I do better doing that than I do trying to sell and time the top, and then it keeps going up, and I've just missed an entire run. This market isn't asking you to be smart. It's asking you to be calm. Crashes don't destroy wealth. Panic does. And this is where the patient people get paid. So I realize that things looking rough right now. And for some of you that watch my channel, you're probably like, well, what happened today? You're working, you're busy, and you're not really focused on the market. And that's probably why you come here, watch the channel, and I'm here to give you a little bit of uplift, a little positivity, because you got to be. I mean, and you got to just get away from it. Go touch grass, as they say. It is what it is. It happens, and we get through it. So, couple of notes for y'all. I was doing my live streams at 2 o'clock Central Time on Wednesdays. I'm going to keep it the same day, but I'm going to move it to 7 o'clock Central starting next Wednesday. 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Thinking people going to be chilling, all from work, got time to watch, tune in, join the live stream. So that's what we're going to do. Moving it to 7 o'clock Central Time on Wednesdays. Same day, different time. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm Gen X Guy. Appreciate you being here. I give you the unfiltered truth on tech, money, and life. Those are the three main topics we talk about here. And if you have any questions, I reply to everyone in the comments. So leave a comment. Let me know. And there's been some really good ones out there. And if you want some good Q&A, some answers to your questions, join the live stream 7 o'clock on Wednesdays from here out, and I'll be glad to give you guys some insight, answer your questions on that live stream. We'll do it for about an hour, maybe 2 hours if we get enough people in there. So you guys have a good one. Gen X Guy out. Keep your head up.